This one I wanted to answer. This was from Zach because this player kind of has had a nice week and is kind of, making us feel a little better about him. But Zach's question is, how do you foresee Brian Thomas Jr., receiver for the Jags, fit in Doug, he just said Doug's offensive scheme. Doug Peterson's offensive scheme. There's only one Doug right now. So much has been made about
coach for the Jaguars.
Much has been made about his downfield ball winning, which pairs well to Trevor. It does. I have an answer about this, but no one has talked about his speed in the horizontal game. The Jags span mesh unlike any other team. Not wrong there. Do you think BTJ's skill set will help him run away from defenders across the field on shallow and intermediate crossers, hoping he's not a one-trick pony and the team is less fragile? John Shipley, our friend who covers the Jags, has said that no one can keep up with Thomas deep. Like, he has wheels and could go deep. Even though he had a really cool finish in the game the other day, he's not like a ball winner. He's not a dunker to me. He's such a unique player. I saw hip comparisons to him to T. Higgins, and I thought that was awful. T. Higgins is a dunk artist. Like, Thomas is like a silky smooth, like he can bend really in weird ways. Like, he's just a unique guy. So I having said all that, I do think he'll be good on the yak stuff because he's not going to be breaking guys off and juking guys, but he can bend and he can accelerate very quickly for such a tall, long-legged guy. So yeah, short answer is I do think it would fit pretty well. Any thoughts on the Jags offense right now? Try to be nice about him right now.
Yeah, he's not like, it's not like Quentin Johnson, but
no.
He is kind of like a small ball, big receiver. And I think that can distort people's views because you're like, 6'4", 200 pounds, he's probably huge contested catch guy. No, he's running deep and he's going to get by most guys. Like, it makes you think back if you saw the training camp clip today of Brian Thomas just torching some poor DB for the Bucks. Makes you think about Jaden Daniels flipping that play to all go in the Jets game last weekend. Because, like, that's what he was throwing to. And he also had neighbors on the other side. So, like, that's speed that can get your teammates drafted, And it's something that they're going to have to lean on. But, yeah, I do think that can be a part of their game because it's going to have to be a part of his game because it's not like you can just pigeonhole him in the one role that kind of overlaps with Gabe Davis. Like, no, he's going to have to be forced to do a lot more stuff just because of the composition of this roster. But he's at least got the tools to do it. He's got a good quarterback. Yeah. We'll see what happens.
He'll figure it out. Like, I'm optimistic about him. I think it's just that he'd be a slow starter in his career. Yeah. He's not going to be a guy that's like, oh my God, he's not going to Anquan Bolden it in week one to go for 200. But I think it's going to be more like he's going to be a steady climber. It's just good to see. It's like, oh, they found something for him right now, which is, of course, I mean, this dude ran a 4.33 at almost 6'3" flat, 6'2" and 7/8, 209. Like, that's flying. Like, that is, I know we get kind of jaded, like we think 4.33 is like, oh, it's not 4.21. 4.33 is so freaking fast, and he actually shows the 4.33. So yeah, it's a cool player, just a unique player. I've been struggling to find a comparison for him, like, historically in my head. Dane Brugler used Chris Henry as a comparison, and I thought that was an interesting one. Former Bengals and West Virginia guy. But that, I've been trying to figure out one, so we'll see. We'll see if one hits my brain. But
Martavis is still in the league, kind of.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one because Martavis is probably 6'2". Might be taller than that. Who did he just sign with? Martavis is 6'3.5". Look at you. 211. Look at you.
Hey,
4.42. Hey, you nailed that.
I remember him being faster, like, on field.
He's way faster on field.
Yeah, he felt way faster on the field.
No, he's 21 plus guy, 21 miles an hour. He's way fast. All right, next question. This one was a fun one, so I might not give a good answer, so I might want to answer this in a later mailbag, but we'll get into it. But imagine, from Matt C., imagine you had a time machine and could go back no earlier than 1990. Armed with the things we know about football in 2024, analytics, strategy, drafting, etc., you are tasked with taking over as GM and coach the 1990 Patriots' worst record in the league. How long does it take your team to become dominant? What are the 3 to 4 primary advantages you have based on the benefit of these last 3-4 years of football? Did you have any thoughts on this? I almost want to use this at a different time because I want to marinate on it, but I have a couple kind of cheats on it.
I did think about this. I would just be so curious to know what skill set does my quarterback have? Because I think, dude, if if I can break out like, because 1990 Patriots, I know that because the reason why Patriots fans cherish this run so much is because they were just absolute garbage before
they're terrible
before all of this happened.
Their quarterback they started 3 quarterbacks that year, 6 games and 4 games. It was bad. The highest QB rating was 76.